always feel weird when these. So let's see. Today's week 6. We have to do team meeting recording, which is 20-30 minutes. And then we have to just basically talk about what we're going to do, moving on from like today on. So, Brianna, you said that the people there emailed you back, right?
Yeah, he emailed me back, just basically telling us what his main problems were and the history and everything, which is what we wrote about in our last paper. But I guess he said the biggest problems for them were the lack of storage space and the lack of personnel, which is what we talked about. Because we're getting more money from Nike each year to buy equipment for the sports teams, they're getting more and more shipment for like every season for every sport. So, and their room is not getting any bigger, so that's causing a lot of problems because they're losing equipment more easily and getting more unorganized. So that's what he said. Like the biggest problem was the storage space.
Okay. You guys like kind of froze. Can you just move around a bit to see if it unfreezes? Yeah, like cheese frozen in the face like this.
Well, my face is too big.
Yeah. I don't know what happened. Because it was fine before. Like when I was when we were testing it, it was fine.
Restart.
Yeah, we can restart it. Oh, okay.
Hasn't increased, so we're having trouble trying to keep all of the equipment organized when it's coming in from the shipment. So that's why he said that's the biggest like problem they're facing is the storage space, and the fact that they're not getting any more people, like any more managers working in there, is causing a lot of problems as well.
Okay. Have you actually seen like the equipment rooms before?
Yes, I work in there. So I work. There's actually two separate rooms in the rack. One is where they have like where the laundry is being done and some sports teams, and the other one is where they have like their office space, which is not really office space. It's just a couple of desks in there that they have for themselves, plus a bunch of other shelves that are just filled with more sports team stuff. So it's very, they keep it as organized as they can, but it's really all over the place because they really don't have a lot of room to put everything like in an organized fashion.
Okay. You said that one room had an office space and then also a laundry space?
Yeah, there's one room with where they do laundry and one room where they have all their paperwork done. But both rooms, since they're getting like overloaded with shipment, both rooms have shipment in it. So both have like the laundry room has where like soccer uniforms, baseball uniforms, some lacrosse stuff, and then obviously all the laundry. And then the office space room is where they have women's track, men's track, basketball, like basically all the other sports are in there for just the rack room. So that's the rack is where like their main office is. It's where all the managers meet up together. But as I said in the paper before last week, they have two other meeting spots on College Ave and in the Hale Center on Bush. But they just kind of get like the uniforms organized there. It's not really as much of a like meeting space, if you understand. That makes sense.
And for this project, we're gonna just focus on the rack anyway.
Yeah, since the rack is like
Most of everything goes on.
yeah.
You and Nicole are both on the track team, right?
Yeah.
So is all your equipment like stored in one place or is it like spread out between these 3 centers?
It's just one place. So our equipment is in the rack.
It's in the rack.
So all the Livingston-based sports teams, a majority of them are all their equipment is going to be in the Rutgers Athletic Center. So all the shipment that goes out, all the coaches order it through the equipment room, which is at the rack. So once, say, lacrosse is at the Hale Center on Bush, that's where they practice, their stuff will be shipped to the rack on Livingston. And then the manager that handles the lacrosse team will bring all of that equipment to the Hale Center to, like, disperse to that team.
Okay.
Yeah, like the equipment managers basically act like a middleman between Nike and the coaches. So when the shipment comes in, then we like have to wait for them to go through it, and then the coaches like hand it out to us. So the coaches just have they have to wait on it's like that type sort of like level of with
Like hierarchy.
It's like Nike, equipment managers, and the coaches.
Exactly.
All right. So
Should we go over things
what?
that are due this week?
Yeah. So let's see. So we have to do a individual prepared feedback, which is later I'll make this into an actual file, and the beginning's a little bit cut off, but the rest will be on YouTube. So I'll send you guys the link to it. Just bear with the lag and the quality of it, because Rutgers internet sucks. It's true though. And then it says like you do 2 to 3 key observations that are positive in our team, and then negative, and then key observations from previous meetings that reflect additional issues. So
Should
I
we
guess
talk about that now?
yeah, we can do that.
With our paper.
So the thing says 2 to 3 key observations from previous meetings that reflect additional issues your team needs to address and which are not evident in the recorded meeting itself.
So I think one of the I think everyone should just like give input, but one of the positive things I think that we've done is the whole point system that we created, because I think that creates more structure for our meetings, and it gives people more incentive to show up and come prepared, because ultimately it's going to reflect on the final outcome of the project. So I think that's positive.
Can you send me that? Yeah. Okay, cool. Alright, that's good. I think another positive thing is that we're not afraid of speaking out. Like, if we feel something's wrong, we'll just be like, yo, that's not cool. And like, we can talk out things pretty quickly. So like, the first week, what was it? I think we were like just debating how things should be set up, and even if we like disagreed a bit, we eventually talked it out instead of just throwing it to the side.
Yeah, I agree.
Is there anything that we can improve on?
Well, that's the next one.
Yeah, that's the well. It says 2 to 3, so 2. Yeah. Well, Chi, what do you think we can improve on going on forward?
I think I should talk more.
What?
I have no idea about the improvement.
Our team does do a good job setting.
So I noticed like when I was a team, like last week and I was a team leader, I just feel like when we have separate assignments and we're handing it into people, like it should be treated as if it was a final product. Like I feel like I spent too much time editing and fixing things because people sent me things without proper punctuation, or it just seemed like there was a lack of effort in like making something concise. Like I feel like whatever we send to everyone, the only job that the team leader should have when they're putting something together is putting a meeting together just so it's in one document and it flows. It shouldn't have to be like something that I have to copy and paste from, the content of the email and then fix up so it sounds the way it should sound. Whatever you're sending should be the final product. If you're sending that to the professor, and ultimately whatever you do is a reflection of like your work ethic and everything like that. So I just feel like in the future when we have to send things out, like just for the ease of the team leader, because we're all students, we all have a lot to do. So it's just
Yeah,
I completely agree. And when I was a team leader, I found I had like the same problem. Is that some people read the assignment, that they submitted the work properly, and then some like didn't. And I think another thing that we can improve on is to make sure that every person in the group reads the assignment instructions, just so you're on the same page and you know which parts are required, even if you're not doing the same part. Even if you're not assigned that part, you should just read all of them.
I definitely agree with that, because I remember our last meeting, I felt like we spent too much time explaining what needed to be done, when it's the only thing that should be, like everyone should be prepared with an understanding of what was supposed to happen for the meeting, and ultimately what we should take away or discuss during the meeting is how we're going to, get that done in a timely manner, how we're going to split it up. We shouldn't be wasting like 30, 40 minutes of the meeting explaining to someone what we're like required to do for the week.
Yeah, so I guess it's helpful to print this thing, the guide, the project guide.
Yeah, I agree.
Alright, and then, well, that covers previous meetings that reflect additional issues as well. So we kind of just finished all the individual prepared feedback. So
Yeah, I mean, Do you guys have any questions about like the equipment room, like what they are and what it does that you need to ask me now before?
How large is the equipment room? Because when the way that you're describing, I think it's like fairly small.
Yeah, it's very small. So I'm trying to
But
think
at the same time, it's
how to
like
describe it.
a year worth of equipment. So it's like, is that like that's to me?
And they
That's a
have
lot of
not only do
equipment.
they have a year's worth of equipment, but they also have like past uniforms from like the basketball team and stuff like that. They like have saved that they don't really know what to do with. Like when I go there, I help them like fold and organize obviously the uniforms that they have to disperse to like the soccer team and stuff, since soccer team's in season right now. But they also have me organize stuff from the past uniform and stuff, because Nike's giving the teams more money every year. So that gives them more purchasing power to buy more like up to date equipment. So they have all this old like uniforms and stuff. I know, for example, our track team just got new uniforms again, and we already got new singlets last year. So now we have 3 different uniforms that we have. So for other teams like basketball and soccer and stuff, they have like different uniforms that they have just laying around that they don't really know what to do with necessarily.
Also, do they have like storage bins or how
Yeah.
is it stored?
Yeah. So they do have like they have a bunch of it's like when you go to the food store, they have like those like metal shelving
Mm-hmm.
on what they hold food on. It's like the similar to that, and they have like metal cabinets in the room where they have the laundry being done. Where some sports teams also are, they have like metal cabinets filled with other like extra equipment and like extra stuff for, because not only do they like hold like sports teams accountable, and like not only do sports teams go through it, but the marketing team has to go through a program too for all of their equipment, because the marketing team obviously works with Rutgers Athletics, so they have all of that equipment like polos and stuff that the marketing team has to work. So I know Nicole is actually interning for the marketing team in the rack, so I know that she probably gets equipment from them too.
Yeah, I was gonna actually mention that to Clyde, and I didn't know if it'd be off topic, but I feel like coming up with a stronger like inventory management sort of plan for the equipment room will ultimately just help out with everything for Rutgers athletics as an organization in general, because as an intern to the marketing department, we have to go through their like storage room with where they have all the apparel that they hand out, like T-shirts and things like that, and we have to go through that. And I feel like they also have a similar problem. It's very disorganized. They have T-shirts from like 2012, 2013, and since they don't know what to do with them, that's why I'm being those are the T-shirts that they throw out. Like they throw old T-shirts out to go to crowds, because that's their way of getting rid of them in order to bring in more. And the thing is, every week when I'm working for office hours, we have different shipments coming out of different various T-shirts that end up just piling up in the room. The room is so small in the equipment room. So it's just another source of equipment they don't use, equipment they don't even know they have, and equipment they don't know what they're going to do with. So like, they don't know how they're going to get rid of it. Or
It's exactly, and I think that just goes to show how like Rutgers athletics in general, since we just moved into the Big Ten, like that just goes to show how not only is the equipment room like under problems, but like the rack and everything, like all the marketing teams and the coach's office and everything, we have like basically everything to get. So not only does the equipment room have to expand, but so does the marketing. And like once the equipment room expands, I think that everything else will kind of work off of that. Kind of everything else will kind of, I guess, turn around and become more
it's just like
organized.
an overall problem with Rutgers athletics as an organization in general, because they're continually making different renovations and things like that with the rack in general. Like they're opening different offices, expanding cubicles, removing cubicles in order to get that whole Big Ten feeling, keeping up with all the other Big Ten schools who are very well established. So they're trying to recreate the rack in a way that like competes with all these schools with the infrastructure. So I feel like that's why they're having trouble. It's like too rapid of growth. So they have all these things like from when they're in the Big East or the American Athletic Conference that they don't know what to do with. So
Yeah, and that's what they have, like the past uniforms for that I've seen working there last year and so far this year. They have uniforms from when we were in the Big East, when we were in the American Athletic Conference, that they don't know what to do with because now we have to have like the Big Ten symbol on our uniforms. So they have to get new ones, which they have funding for now from Nike, but now they don't have the space to put the old uniforms. I don't really know what to do with them now.
Oh, that's another question that I had. So Nike funds all the inventory they
Yeah,
pay
he
for?
said.
well, not necessarily. The way it works is like all different collegiate schools, like they're affiliated with different brands, and it depends. For the most part, it doesn't have to be that way. There are schools in the Big Ten that aren't sponsored by Nike, but for the most part, like depending on what conference you're a part of, like it's almost just like uniform. You know, like it's almost
Yeah.
like you'll notice that like in certain conferences, like all those schools are Under Armour, all those schools are Adidas, but it doesn't work out that way. But for the most part, it's just like what your conference and things like that are affiliated with, and then it's also like what comes with. It's just like looking at something when you're signing a contract. You're gonna look at what incentives there are. Like, it's not that Nike funds us, but Nike like sponsors us. Like
But
they're marketing us. And we're
yeah,
marketing them.
they actually do give us money because he put about their history. He said all Nike. The Nike All School deal that the university signed 3 years ago. Nike has given our athletic teams a lot of money to buy uniforms and practice. It allows us to use any extra gear at a dealer cost. So that gives our teams more purchasing power for their dollar, which increases the amount of gear for each team. So they actually do, the way he worded it, they actually do give us a lot of money. Like they're basically paying us to sponsor them because by us sponsoring them, now that we're in the Big Ten, we're marketing logo, like the Nike symbol, on our uniforms every single time the football team's on TV. Like you see that we're for Nike. Like we have to make sure. I know that last year when we ran at Penn State, we had to make sure that our numbers, like our stickers, weren't covering our Nike symbol because they wanted us to show off that we were supporting Nike. So I guess in a way, like they're using the athletes to market their brand more.
But technically, it's still like we're paying because we still have a budget, is what I mean.
Yeah.
Like we
Yeah.
still can't like go over a certain amount, and so it's things like that. Like each team has a different budget, but yeah, like we're basically just marketing the brand. It's like not free advertisement, but that's the way like Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, all those brands get their brand out more and more. Like
Exactly.
when we go to meets, we all have to wear the same thing, like no matter what. And just like Bree said, you can't cover your logos, and that's why.
But like what I'm struggling to understand is if we're not part of Big East or what is it, American Athletic, bleh, whatever that was.
Yeah.
Why do we still keep those uniforms in? Why like
I don't have like a definite answer for that, but I guess I don't. I can ask the manager about that, like why they keep the uniforms. But
because we did, it wasn't like going into the Big Ten we changed to Nike because I was here when we were in the American Athletic Conference, and we were wearing Nike uniforms as well.
Well, no, I'm not saying like
No, but that's what I mean. Like it's the uniforms aren't getting rid of because they were still Nike. Like that's not the thing. Just there's different adjustments made to our current, like our past uniforms to fit the Big Ten conference.
But like if they say like Big East on them, like
no, they don't. They did.
Oh, okay.
yeah, not all of them. They don't keep all of them.
So all those like I remember freshman year, like he gave us like whatever leftover ASIC stuff they had because it was just leftover. Like they were trying to get rid of it.
Okay, because I'm
So
like
for the most part, he has no more ASICs things, but it's just like all the old Nike stuff that like was just plain because we were just in the American Athletic Conference. Like where it's not really in use because everything that we have now, like in some way, there's small embellishments to show that we're in the Big Ten. Like our uniform, we added different like decals that says.
Yeah, they also have.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. If there's a decal on it, why would you keep the ones that like?
They don't have.
You're adding it for the Big Ten.
Okay.
The Big Ten's different because it's
When you
bigger.
say keep it, you mean just keep it so you can give to all the athletes?
Not necessarily. It's just like it's leftover things.
Yeah, it's left over.
Yeah, if they're not gonna use
If they're
them
not
again.
gonna give it to the athletes.
No, they give it to athletes because it's leftover.
Okay.
Yeah, the only like situation where I've seen like actually just kind of laying around. Like I said, I've seen old basketball uniforms from like a couple of years ago, but like they are like slowly like getting rid of that because they don't need them anymore.
Yeah, I'm like feeling after like a certain number of years, like 7 max, they should just throw everything or like donate everything before that out. Because
Yeah.
you're never gonna go back to use those.
I don't necessarily think that's like the biggest issue they're facing now. I like in general, I think the biggest issue is just the fact that we're getting like more purchasing power to buy equipment, so their spaces like.
Do they use an inventory system to track all the purchases?
I would assume so. I have to ask, like, double check with him about like what they do, but they definitely do have an inventory system. They're very organized when it comes to like ordering stuff for teams and everything like that, and like keeping like separate teams' equipment separate. Like they're very organized in that sense. So I can talk to him about that and like their inventory system.
It's interesting to know if they use one now or if they can improve their inventory system so they cut down, the over the stuff that they don't need.
Yeah, I agree.
Do they, for like, they have a lot of surplus, but there's always problems with like shortage as well, right?
Not necessarily, because a lot of the coaches usually order more equipment than they need because it's always better to have extra stuff than to have too little. Because I know, like, our coach always gets extra equipment, and then after everyone gets something, like last year, he gave me like 2 extra like black T-shirts because he just had them laying around. Like he handed out the rest of the stuff to the rest of the team. So I would say that they have not a shortage of stuff; they have more of a surplus of extra equipment.
Okay.
Like I folded the basketball uniforms the other day, like actually yesterday, and I think there's like 14 guys in the guys basketball team, and they ordered like 25 pairs of shorts, just because like they never know. Like sometimes they get blood on them, you can't get them out. Like because when you play basketball, you can't continue playing with like blood on your uniform. It's just like not. I don't know why. I don't even really know why, but they ask you to like step out of the game if you have blood on your uniform. But so yeah, they just order like extra stuff just because you never really know what the deal's gonna be with.
Okay, last question then, and then we actually hit the
Yeah.
but oh shoot, now I forgot the question. Alright, I'll like ask you later then when I think of it. Chi, do you have anything to say about any of the stuff?
Mm.
No.
Yeah, so just a reminder, like the papers.
Yeah, just remember. Yeah, remember in our handbook, there's like a survey on page 35. I have a handbook if anyone needs to, a copy of it. I can send you pictures of whatever you need. Remember to do that survey. Remember to do the prepared feedback. Yulia took some notes.
Yeah, I have some notes too.
Yeah, so we can like share those notes around. And then next week we're supposed to like spend the first 20 minutes in class to review and discuss about the feedback, which we sort of kind of did in our meeting.
Yeah.
But we can always
Expand on it.
Yeah, we always can elaborate more on it.
Well, and we also have to write it down.
Yeah, we gotta
make
write
it into a paper.
Yep.
All right.
Alright, it's midterm week, so I will see you guys Monday then.
Bye.